Once upon a time, in the faraway land of Superheroville, lived a super puppy named Super Blue. Her superpower was helping people, and she loved to help anyone and everyone she could. Blue was sleepy from a long day of helping, so she climbed into her bed, laid her sleepy head down on her soft, fuzzy pillow, and closed her eyes. When suddenly, her super alarm went off. Someone needed her help. Super Blue flew all the way across Superheroville to find a little chick that was stuck all the way at the top of a tree.
Cheep, cheep, cheep!
Super Blue, I can't get down. Will you help me?
Bow, 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 bow!
Super Blue rolled out her cape, and the little chick hopped on. But she was afraid to let go of the tree branch.
Cheep, cheep, cheep!
Oh no! We're so high off the ground! I don't want to let go! As the little chick clenched the tree branch, Super Blue knew that she could help. So, she hummed a sweet song to calm the little chick down.
Bow, 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 bow.
The chick felt much calmer. And let go of the tree branch as she grasped on to Super Blue's cape. Okay, I'm ready. Super Blue flew with the little chick on her cape, bringing her back to the little chick's coop where all of her friends were waiting for her. Away! Thank you, Super Blue. You're a real super helper.
Bow, bow, bow.
Super Blue said goodnight to the chick and flew back home to her cozy bed. Now Blue was super sleepy, so she climbed into her bed, laid her sleepy head down on her soft, fuzzy pillow, and closed her eyes. When suddenly, her super alarm went off. Someone needed her help. Super Blue flew all the way across Superheroville to find a monkey whose blankie was stuck.
My blankie is stuck under this giant bunch of bananas. Can you help me, Super Blue?
Bow, 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 bow.
Super Blue was super strong. She lifted up the great big mound of bananas and moved them off the blankie, so she could give the monkey his blankie back.
Thank you, Super Blue. You're a real super helper.
Super Blue said goodnight to the monkey and flew back home to her cozy bed. She laid her sleepy head down on her soft, fuzzy pillow and closed her eyes. But she couldn't fall asleep. She tossed and she turned. She flopped this way and that way. She even tried taking a nice big breath. Take a big breath with Super Blue. Ready? But even though she was very tired, she just couldn't fall asleep. All of a sudden, she heard her super alarm went off. But this time, it wasn't someone who needed her help.
Bow, bow, bow.
Super Blue opened the door to find Her friends, the little chick and the monkey who she had helped that day. Hi, Super Blue. We heard you couldn't sleep, so we came to help you.
Bow.
The monkey used his blankie to wrap her up nice and snug.
Bow.
And the little chick chirped a soft, sweet lullaby to help Super Blue fall asleep. And Super Blue fell fast asleep, cuddled up next to her fuzzy new friends.
Good night.
It was a super ending to a super day. Pirate Blue liked feeling the warm golden sun on her face. Ah, do you feel the warm sun on your face too? And Blue loved listening to the calming waves that washed ashore on Pirate Panda Island. All of a sudden, Pirate Blue could hear someone paddling ashore. This someone was black and white, big and furry, with small, round ears.
Yo ho ho!
It was Pirate Panda Polly, the cuddliest pirate panda in all the high seas.
Ahoy, Pirate Blue! I really need your help. I can't find me missing blankie treasure, and I can't fall asleep without it.
The treasure was buried somewhere deep on Pirate Panda Island, so there was only one thing to do.
We gotta go on a treasure hunt. But avast! A mighty wind be about to blow.
Pirate Panda Polly and Pirate Blue hurried off on their treasure hunt as the strong winds blew them all the way to a big, leafy palm tree swaying in the wind. Can you feel the wind blowing too?
X marks the spot. Could our treasure be buried under this tree? Let's dig so we can see. Heave! Oh! Heave! Oh! Heave! Oh!
They found a great big treasure chest. Was it Pirate Polly's blankie treasure?
Oh no! It's only a musical treasure. Yo ho ho ho!
Pirate Panda Polly and Pirate Blue were getting very sleepy, but Polly couldn't fall asleep without her blankie treasure. Then they heard something off in the distance.
Maybe our treasure's buried near the waterfall. Hop into me boat, me mateys.
They hopped into Polly's boat and paddled over to the waterfall.
We anchor and paddle away. Faster, faster, we mustn't delay. Paddle, paddle, paddle faster.
Pirate Panda Polly and Pirate Blue paddled as fast as they could until they made it to land near the misting waterfall. Can you feel the mist too?
Land ho! Could our treasure be buried under these rocks? Let's dig for our treasure box. Heave! Oh! Heave! Oh! Heave! Oh!
They found a great big treasure chest. Was it Pirate Polly's blankie treasure?
Oh no!
It's only a treasure chest filled with cuddly stuffies. Yo-ho!
Bow, 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 bow.
Pirate Panda Polly and Pirate Blue were getting even sleepier. But still, Polly couldn't fall asleep without her blankie treasure. So they continued on in their hunt for treasure. Yo-ho-ho! And just then, they saw a crab walking across the sand. Maybe our treasure's buried near that crab.
Bow, bow.
Onward, matey, across the sand! So Pirate Blue and Pirate Panda Polly walked through the nice warm sand as it squeezed between their toes. Could our treasure be buried deep in the sand?
Bow, bow.
Let's dig, dig, dig! We can use our hands! Heave! Oh! Heave! Oh! Heave! Oh! And they found a great big treasure chest. Was it Pirate Polly's blankie treasure? Yes, it was. One soft, cozy pirate blankie for Pirate Panda Polly. Blue turned to tell Polly that she had found her blankie treasure. But Pirate Panda Polly was fast asleep, cuddled up on the warm, cozy sand. So Blue took the cozy blankie and wrapped Polly up nice and tight. Then she snuggled up right beside Pirate Polly and fell asleep too, cuddled together under the blankie treasure. On a faraway hill lived a lot of little monsters. Ooglabugla was the cutest little monster of all.
Ooglabugla!
He was short, round, and purple as could be, with one tiny tooth.
Ooglabugla!
Ooglabugla loved to play in the mud. The mud was thick and slimy, on his toes, on his fingers, and even on his head. It was just the way Ooglabugla liked it.
Ooglabugla! Mud, 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 mud.
As the sun was beginning to set, Ooglabugla eagerly scurried back inside his home for bedtime. It's Ooglabugla story time! Yeah! Story time was Ooglabugla's favorite, but it wasn't story time just yet. Blue needed to get Ooglabugla all cleaned off and ready for bed.
Bow, 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 bow.
Not story time.
Before story time, it was bath time.
Bow, bow, bow.
Ooglabugla! It's time to take a bath!
Blue helped Ooglabugla into the bubbly bath. He splished and he splashed as Blue helped scrub all the mud off little Ooglabugla.
Ooglabugla! Scrub, scrub! Ooglabugla! Scrub, scrub, scrub!
Ooglabugla hopped out of the tub and shook himself off, wiggling his silly little arms and legs until he was dry. Ooglabugla was sure he knew what time it was now.
It's Ooglabugla story time! Yeah!
Bow, 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 bow.
Not story time.
Before story time, Ooglabugla had to put on his pajamas.
Bow, 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 bow.
And fuzzy purple monster pajamas were Ooglabugla's favorite.
Ooglabugla, it's pajama time! Yeah!
Blue helped Ooglabugla get into his fuzzy monster pajamas. Left arm, then right leg, then left leg, then right arm. 'Cause that's how this silly little monster liked to get dressed.
Ooglabugla, snuggle, snug, snug! Ooglabugla, snuggle, snug, snug!
Ooglabugla was so cozy in his fuzzy pajamas that he started to feel sleepy.
Ooglabugla.
Ooglabugla was sure he knew what time it was now.
It's Ooglabugla story time! Yeah.
Bow, 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 bow.
Oh, not story time.
It was time to brush teeth.
Bow, 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 bow.
And Ooglabugla only had one little monster tooth to brush.
Ooglabugla, it's time to brush my tooth.
Blue helped Ooglabugla brush his little tooth with an itty-bitty toothbrush that made silly noises as he brushed. Do you hear those silly toothbrush sounds?
Ooglabugla, brush, brush, brush. Ooglabugla, brush, brush, brush.
Ooglabugla smiled the biggest smile he could muster. As he looked himself proudly in the mirror, he was positive he knew what time it was now.
It's Ooglabugla story time! Yeah!
It was finally time for Blue to read Ooglabugla's favorite bedtime story.
Ooglabugla, it's story time!
Ooglabugla climbed into his monster bed, which was bouncy as could be.
Woohoo! Yeah, all right.
And Blue read him his favorite bedtime story.
A monster in the bed, a monster on my head. A monster in the mud, a muddy monster's my best bud.
Ooglabugla was starting to get very sleepy.
Ooglabugla, again. A monster in the bed, a monster on my head. A monster in the mud, a muddy monster's my best bud. Ooglabugla. Ooglabugla.
And just like that, Ooglabugla fell fast asleep. Monsters are the fastest sleepers ever. Blue turned off the lights, gave Ooglabugla a kiss goodnight, and wished him sweet, silly monster dreams.
Bow, 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 bow.
Ooglabugla.
There were dinosaurs as far as the eye could see, each with a great, big, thunderous roar. The mighty Blue Rex had the most magnificent roar of all. Listen. But there was one little dinosaur who wasn't quite as big or quite as loud as the others. Her name was Stella, and she was the cutest baby triceratops in the land of the dinosaurs. She had 3 little horns on her head and 4 tiny feet that made itty-bitty stomps. Stella wanted to roar like her friend Blue Rex more than anything else.
I can do it. I can do it.
Yeah. No matter how hard Stella tried, she couldn't roar like her friend Blue Rex could. But that wasn't going to stop her. One day, Stella and her friend Blue Rex heard,
Munch, munch, roar! Munch, munch, roar!
So they stomped on over to see who it was. It was the T-Rexes, all munching on their lunch together. They were big and tall, towering above the trees. Stella asked the T-Rex,
How do you roar, dinosaur?
We munch, munch, roar! Munch, munch, roar!
So Stella munched too and tried to roar just like the T-Rexes.
Munch, munch, a reap. Munch, munch, a reap.
But still she couldn't roar. So Blue Rex told her to keep on trying. If she practiced and practiced, she'd find her roar. That's when they heard,
Splish, splash, roar! A splish, splash, roar!
so they stomped on over to see who it was. It was the Spinosaurus dinosaurs, all playing together in the water. They had big sails on their backs to splish and to splash. Stella asked,
How do you roar, dinosaur?
We splish, splash, roar! We splish, splash, roar!
So Stella splished and she splashed with all her might and tried to roar just like the Spinosaurus.
Splish, splash, reap. Splish, splash, reap.
But still she couldn't roar. Blue Rex told her to keep on trying. If she practiced and practiced, she'd find her roar. That's when they heard,
Flap, flap, roar! Flap, flap, roar!
so they stomped on over to see who it was. It was the pterodactyls, all flying around the tip-top of a mountain. They had long wings and massive beaks. Stella asked,
How do you roar, dinosaur?
We flap, flap, roar! Flap, flap, roar!
So Stella flapped her arms as hard as she could and tried to roar just like the pterodactyls.
Flap, flap, eep. Flap, flap, eep.
But she still couldn't roar. And now it was getting dark, and Stella was starting to feel sleepy from such a long day of munching and splashing and flapping.
I'm sleepy.
Stella and Blue Rex went home and cuddled up in their bed of leaves, nestled inside a giant dino footprint. Stella asked Blue Rex,
Why must my roar take so long? Where could it be?
And like always, Blue Rex assured her that if she kept practicing and practicing, she'd find her roar. She could keep practicing tomorrow. So Stella closed her eyes and took some deep dino breaths. Knowing that tomorrow was a brand new day, and maybe she'd find her roar then.
Good night, Blue Rex.
Stella was so sleepy she couldn't help but yawn. But instead of a yawn, a roar came out.
I roared! I did it! I really did it!
Sure enough, Stella had roared for the very first time. Her friend Blue Rex was so proud of her. And so Stella went to sleep with a smile on her face and a big roar waiting to come out again tomorrow. The end.
You can ask your parents to subscribe to Nick Jr.'s Blues Clues and You YouTube channel for new videos every week.